Last time on Salvage.
It's Anatoly. Now, if you could kindly put my head right back on my shoulders.
Does your head normally come off when you're hunting ferals in gift shops?
We're trying to get at some sort of hive central unit.
Oh, that way's not going to do you. It's all caved in, blocked off up there. You might be able to head up to the parish above.
They accepting of outsiders?
They're a little high-strung right now. The first thing that you see is fire. Turn my waters to wine, my blood to a bounty of oil. And what you see is a face that looks like a human woman, covered on her cheeks with black iron. Is that you, Anna? Yeah, how you doing, June?
What is a car, really?
I've given up on understanding basically anything about this entire floor.
I'm sorry about this, Anna. I talked with the brothers. They don't want anyone in there. I don't know why they're being like this. I'm gonna let you through.
As long as that thing's still down there, it's gonna continue to be a problem, not just for us.
It is entirely covered in that same thick white paste, like those little single-eyed, barely developed growths all along the walls.
Well, that's not concerning at all.
I think I found my new least favorite place.
Welcome to the thick of the infestation.
All right, so you find yourself back in the tunnel that you just descended down into. And with the lights on, you see, like I said, it's covered in that white nanite liquid that you saw from the inside of the SecureSoft agents. It's when it was inside the SecureSoft, the very fresh, just recently popped SecureSoft. It was like a viscous liquid, and the stuff that Tori's character Ollie has experience with is when it's just dried and in paste form. So it's fresher. And as you guys look around the room, you see the little eye stalks sort of coming off the walls start turning and just following you just a little bit. You see a couple of them weakly, the lenses weakly trying to flash a little bit, but they can't seem to fully brighten up. You see a couple spots on the walls and ground start to get a little bit of that light that you see when the SecureSoft agents are about to appear, but they sort of just fizzle out and nothing comes of it.
So this is a disturbing area. We don't necessarily know how.
I want to make my summer home here. This is great.
How much danger we're in, but I'm gonna assume it's
an amount.
It's on the scale somewhere, not towards the bottom.
It's a non-zero amount of danger.
Yeah.
Anna, have you been down here before?
Well, yes and no. I have been down here before, and I've been trying to help them clear some of it out, but I didn't see that the infection had spread this far.
When you say clear it out, what does that involve?
Well, when you got a SecureSoft infestation, you gotta, flush them out a little bit, and with the burning going on, it's been a shit show.
I mean, could they just bring some of the burning down here, or would that not work?
I think that's what they've been trying, but looks like.
I mean, you saw what happened when we came in. They got their hands full.
So, guess we're gonna just press on, huh?
I suppose so.
And so you're seeing everything through the light of Anna's Holy Motor Corporation branded torch. Just the flashlight. Like I said, it's got the Holy Motor Corporation logo emblazoned in the light, even bat signal style. And she starts walking forward. She's like, "All right, yeah, come on, follow me."
One more question, right quick. Just going
sure.
forward. Do the SecureSoft things like recognize you?
Well, that's a tricky question. I think up to a distance. Certainly a lot shorter than for you folk.
Okay.
They got a much bigger range for well, when you got skin and such.
So where is it we're going now? We're heading down this tunnel, and it's just
It just keeps on. You see it. It just keeps on. It's like the inside of an old parking garage tunnel that just keeps on going on, but now it's just completely covered in this liquid and these little spindly eyes. They look like in fact they look like they're pretty fresh because they're just tiny little ones. And where large SecureSoft spotters were, looks like they have been destroyed and dismantled, and you can just see the base of like the dock that they used to grow out of, as if something like mostly cleared them out.
all right. So I'm gonna turn to Anna and be like, "So Anna, how long is this tunnel?"
It's quite a ways.
Good. That
Oh.
sounds real good.
Yeah, you nervous, Joe? I don't think I've seen you express a complex emotion like that.
Oh, burn. Okay. Joe's just a simple being.
He has crowns. He is happy.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna say this hallway. I don't know. My hobo senses. I don't like this hallway. I don't like it.
Well, not to be ruder to you than I've already been, but I mean, given the circumstances,
I'm okay with most hallways, but I don't know about this hallway.
this is not an ideal hallway. That is for sure. And I guess this is just the tunnel talk as you guys make your way down.
Yeah, we're not the stealthiest group. Just
No. All right. So as you start to make your way down, Anna puts her hand up. And she's like, all right, hold on for a sec. You hear that?
Do we hear that?
And could you roll me a perception? Tell me what your elf eyes hear.
my elf. What?
What is the difficulty of this check?
I'll say difficulty 2. Look, I'm tired, y'all. I'm just putting that out there.
Nothing.
Oh, God. All Greg
He
hears.
succeeds with one advantage.
What did you get, Steve?
He succeeds with one advantage.
2 success, 1 advantage. Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to do with that advantage?
What do I want to do?
We don't know what we're perceiving.
Yeah,
really.
That's true. That's
I
fair.
don't necessarily know what I'm going to do. So, can I just, say that he
I'll say,
has a slight inkling of whatever is coming, so he's perhaps better prepared.
yeah. So I'll
I'll throw
give you
myself
a blue
die
responding
for whatever
to
happens.
this
Yeah,
is next time.
makes most sense.
And Torybird, how's Ollie doing?
Ollie got 1 failure, 3 advantage.
Ollie is not the most perceptive. But 3 advantages, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Do you wanna do the same, like playing it forward like that?
I think so.
Okie doke. All right. So you stop for a second, and all of you hear 2 things, or 3 things actually. You hear, as you stop, you hear the creaking of Greg's leather suit, which is why he can't hear anything. It's just like so noisy, and he's so self-conscious about it. Is he self-conscious about it?
He won't admit it to anyone, but yes.
Yes, fantastic. And what the 2 of you hear is you hear like somebody yelling or shouting just like faintly, and then just like a big whoosh kind of sound, followed by like more talking, and it seems like it's just like kind of like a back and forth like that.
Okay. I was worried that the talking ended with the whoosh.
No. It's like a couple voices, and then every once in a while punctuated by a whoosh.
Well, I mean, Greg can't know this, but I'm guessing flamethrowers and Holy Motorists.
You do. I will say this, Ollie. I'm gonna have this be some of your advantage. Unlike Joe, you actually do notice, like in the dark a little bit, you can see, like while Joe's turned to like a flash of light as well, along with the whoosh.
And, to be fair to Greg for not seeing this, he's also probably still kind of high from all the pain pills he just
Probably.
chugged down.
I'm waiting for him to take his next fistful.
God, was it a quarter of a bottle you took?
I think it's just like about a quarter, just
Because you
just,
took two doses and we have 2 left, so it should have been like, yeah.
Well, Ollie took a dose too, right?
Oh, okay. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
It was a bucket, though.
Yeah, I think Ollie gave Greg some pain meds before we found those, and Greg took another hit
Yeah.
from ones we found in the... So Greg is
Ollie
flying
gave Greg
right
real
now.
pain pills. And the Holy Motor Corporation gave Greg fucking pain tums.
No, cocaine tums.
Pretty much.
Very light, diluted cocaine, but...
Yeah. It's like that thing when you're like in middle school and you go to the nurse and they're like, look, we can't do anything for you.
We're
but
not legally allowed to actually
here's
help
some
you.
Tums. Okay, so
Out of curiosity, does the nanite goo on the walls have any, like, lubrication properties?
yes, they do.
So, does Joe know this?
Why is Joe looking for lube?
I believe he can tell it because he's like, I think like almost ankle deep in it.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna take a scoop of this.
No, please
Scoop of
don't.
this right here. I'm gonna look at Greg and I'm gonna be like, Greg, you're squeaky? Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So does Joe have gloves?
Nah.
I like how any other player, when a DM asks, "Do you have gloves?" straight on the nose would probably be like, "Yes," but not Joe.
Nah.
Well, we wouldn't, but we also wouldn't just like try to scoop up nanite paste.
We're ankle deep in it. Does it matter at this point? Like we're
I mean, fair.
soaking our feet in it.
Okay.
Like,
And Greg got a nice full body bath when he popped that one watcher thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Ollie owns gloves, but she's not wearing them.
I'm sure you'll all be fine.
actually, you know what would make sense? Those gloves that have the finger cutoffs.
Yeah, okay.
That seems
perfect.
appropriately hobo.
Please, just fucking Home Alone this shit.
Yeah.
All right. God.
So what does Greg do if I'm like, your squeaky problem?
He just looks at how
Ocean
like
of lube.
how like the entirety of his lower legs is probably covered in it just from being splashed, and just like shrugs at
It's
you.
not enough. We need stronger lube. I'll keep that in mind. All right.
Okay, but so what are you guys going to do in response to the noises you hear?
Well, Greg doesn't hear anything. He's just consumed by self awareness.
Does Greg does he stop or does he keep walking?
Well, he probably stops like a few steps after he realizes everyone else stopped. It just looks back like, what?
Do my successes give me any knowledge about what the whoosh is?
Okay, I'll let you ask a question like that. You have heard this sound many times in your mysterious youth. It's the sound of a flamethrower.
Oh, okay. All right.
It is not your favorite sound in the world. You have bad memories of being chased out of town with one.
Really? Okay.
Congrats.
I'll have to write that in the history of Joe.
Like, it's not surprising with Joe.
You reckon those are church members down there?
Well,
With flamethrowers?
I mean, something's happening right now called the burning, so I'd assume so.
they do tend to have some flamethrowers on hand.
Yeah, that really isn't surprising.
I mean, there's one thing that we have.
They're definitely they're on brand.
They do appear to be fond of the fire.
I wouldn't say fond, but more like a religious devotion sort of thing.
I mean, that sounds pretty fond, is the thing.
Fanatical.
At any rate, we're trying to not be seen by them right now, right?
Yeah.
Like, at the moment, we're still in hiding from them.
Well,
Yes, we're hiding from the mobs with the fire. Yes, that is.
well, to be fair, these ones might not have known that we weren't allowed to be here yet.
Yeah, they ain't a hive mind.
That's fair.
But also mob with fire.
That said, let's try to avoid them if we possibly can.
Is there a way to move down this hallway in a more sneaky manner that doesn't involve swimming through this stuff?
For the most part, you might have to like get pretty low to the ground and have your light off and try and like skirt around like the light that they're making if you want to sneak by them. Like how do you guys want to approach
I wonder
this?
if I could. Oh, so the way it's set up is that this tunnel is linear, and they are, we are here in like one point in the tunnel, and they are ahead of us in the tunnel, and we need to get to a point past them.
Yeah, it's like a 2-lane highway.
All right, and there's no
How many of
detours
them?
or anything?
Can we see them now?
If you get closer, you can start making it out more and more.
Okay.
I assume you share your information.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe clearly has no qualms about the goop. Should Joe go like neck deep in goop, crawl along the floor and see what he can see and report back? Actually, I feel like Joe would just do it. Joe just starts slowly sinking into the goop.
Yeah, so
just slowly.
So Greg, Ollie, and Anna are
slowly sinking.
So is he just like army crawling
Yeah.
in the goo?
no, like like that scenes in army movies where the guy just like barely their nose above
Yeah.
the water and just like gliding
Yeah.
forward.
It's even funnier because he's got his legs and his ass out behind him.
Yes.
Do I know what this might do to him?
Yes, you do. And long-term exposure, not pretty. Immediate term, probably not too bad. I mean, you don't know how those eye stalks grow, so that's probably unideal to keep it in your nooks and crannies, but...
That's fine.
That's all. Just
I don't know how attached I am to Joe anyway, so.
All right, so if you're sneaking, Steven...
Yeah.
please give me Joe's ghost stealth roll.
What difficulty you want?
That's gonna be a difficulty 3, my friend.
Aaron, should he get a boost dice because no one would be insane enough to think something would be swimming towards them in this?
myself one.
Yes, and that's what that boost die is. One single boost die that you were already getting, you get for just being flat out ridiculous.
I can't wait till my toes have eyes from all this, though.
Three failures and no advantages?
Okay.
So do you usually belly flop into this?
Yeah.
Well, no. I actually love the fact that him getting down on, like, to his nose.
Yeah.
Perfect. Like, he does that. He looks stupid as fuck, but it's simple. He's down. It's quiet. And then it's just like, as the army crosses, it's like plop, 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 forward. What do the rest of you do? Do you just follow, like, not on your bellies, of course, but just like walk
You could
along at the same pace as he is, a little bit
you
behind
could just
him?
use Joe as a diversion.
No. Greg just
let
like
Joe
walks
go.
along behind him, like just far enough that like you can tell that they're with each other, but like he wants to see how far he'll go like this.
Okay, so Joe just like tries very hard. He just like he acts like no one notices him, even when they like clearly stop and do, and he just plops, and then he tries to like be quiet for a moment. And with just the 3 of you standing behind him,
Following.
just like we're with him, I guess.
God, this could work though. Who's gonna want to interrupt this? Nobody.
So they stop. What they're like, you see that like a couple.
Are you gonna mess with this man?
Flamethrower bursts
Well,
go
I guess
off.
this is gonna be a social encounter, not a stealth.
So what ends up happening? So you see who's there, in which you see are dressed kind of similarly to the Holy Motorists you saw earlier. Upstairs, you see a couple of them in like 3 of them in like long duster jackets with like bandanas up over their mouth and nose. Those 3 are watching the other 3 who have the flamethrowers and are wearing more of like an environmental hazard kind of suit and are like clearing out areas of the wall. You see what they're, like I said, 3 of them have flamethrowers that are like up against one of the walls just trying to burn stuff off. And the other 3 that are there, one of them, you can see his duster's like a little fancier. You can see like little like bits of beads and metal sort of like sewn into it. He's carrying an axe and one of those sawed-off Holy Motor Corporation novelty shotguns.
Limited edition, not
Limited
novelty.
edition, you're right.
This is a grand relic of the past. Treat it with respect, Aaron.
Yes, I'm sorry. While the other 2 seem to be carrying like 2-barrel hunting rifles. And it looks like those 3 are sort of just watching and guarding for the other 3 as they do their burning. And you see the one with the fancy jacket he turns and looks at you, like just completely incredulous, and then he looks up and sees Anna, and he pulls the bandana down from his nose and mouth. I was like, Anna? Anna, is that you? And you can see his face is sort of covered with the same stuff that the metal flaking and the scales and that black iron texture. And Anna's just like, Jeffers? Well, it's lucky I ran into you down here. For new friends, this is Jeffers. He's a work boss for Holy Motor Church and Choir and all them.
Pleased to meet you.
Howdy.
Yes. Hey, yeah.
Joe, say hi.
Should I slowly extend out of the group and offer my hand?
No, I actually like the idea that you don't actually get up. You just sort of extend your hand.
I extend my hand
from
out of the group. Okay, I'll go with that.
Jeffers just looks down and considers taking the hand and heavily considers not taking the hand. And he's like, well, fuck it. And reaches down and gives you a hearty handshake as he like takes his other hand and kind of like helps you up a little.
Aww.
And he's like, so, he's like still clearly like, what the fuck is up with this guy? But, what are you four doing down here? Anna, I know you're helping with the hunt, but, who are you folks?
I guess you could also say we're kind of helping with the hunt too. Yeah, we're after the central SecureSoft unit.
Oh, I didn't know they were sending a party for that for, maybe like a couple days. Hadn't even planned one yet. June let you down here?
We got permission from the brothers.
Yeah, they sort of figured that either we would die trying to get to it and soften it up for you guys, or we'd actually succeed. So either way, win for you guys.
Well, that's a blessing. Thank you. Dang, they and from the brothers too. They normally don't meet up with strangers like that.
Yeah, they're having a bit of trouble with a couple of the big ferals up there.
Yeah, I bet this is haven't seen a burning like this in a while now. Well, we've been seeing signs that it'd be starting like last 2 weeks, maybe. Where are y'all from? You don't look like you're from around the Holy Motor Corporation.
I'm gonna drop in at the right time.
That's lucky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like whether you knew it or not, the motor got you here. So that's good. Yeah. Here we're just you're gonna want to wait up here a little bit. Maybe make camp some, just a little bit. We're just trying to clear the way. Must have seen some of our handiwork back there. It's wild. I've never seen an infestation this big.
I wonder if it has anything to do with the central SecureSoft unit.
Oh, probably. Once they get enough together to set one of those up, then you got something on your hands that ain't nobody should deal with.
I don't know. None of our names are nobody. So.
If well, no, nobody's a nobody. Just what's your name again?
My name's Joe.
Oh, Joe, you're not nobody.
Yeah, it's starting to realize there's a lot of J's in our game.
Well, hey, from one J man to another, you ain't nobody. Certainly nobody I know yet, but would love to get to know you folks under better circumstances. But well,
less goopy circumstances.
Yeah, right. But if you're not from around here, then though, how much do you know about the hunting the SecureSoft? I mean,
well, that's all we've been doing for.
How much do we know? Should Greg make a check? Because he's definitely dealt with them in the past.
Absolutely.
All right, what would that be? Knowledge or?
That would be knowledge.
All right, good. 2 green
long
dice. This
have
will
we
go well.
been?
What am I rolling against? Or is there just like a flat?
It is against 3. I'd say it's 3.
Actually, I should roll it down here so it doesn't get mixed up. 2 disadvantages total.
Okay. All right. You know what, that actually works. In the span of this, and I'm gonna say those 2 disadvantages. I'm gonna say you take 2 strain from this.
Okay.
Roll with me on this. I feel like as he says this, it finally kind of like hits you, something that you've kind of been thinking for a while now, but like the brunt of it hasn't really hit yet. That you thought you kind of knew what you were dealing with when it came to SecureSoft. They're these stupid little things that end up setting up shop in different corridors in the tunnels, and sometimes they spot you and make things show up. And over the course of the 3-4 days you've spent in the Holy Motor Corporation now, you kind of come to realize that it looks like it goes like a lot deeper than you knew, and that kind of disheartens you a little bit.
Well, I'd like to say I know a lot, but these last couple of days I feel like I've learned a bit more than I care to. Still, we got a job to do, so not much for it.
We've been learning still. I mean, that's not negative.
Well, to be fair, the most of the ways I've been learning is by nearly dying,
Yeah,
so
but you haven't is the thing.
I'd much prefer a classroom environment in this instance.
Well, mostly for these tunnels, I think. We haven't seen any of the bigger bodies show up yet, but you know how to deal with the spotters, right?
You shoot them?
Okay. All right. So it looks like there's probably some lessons that need to be. Well, you know how they spot you, right?
With their eyeballs? I give him a kind of questionable look.
That's
Nanite paste dripping from your lower jaw.
that is about half of it. So, what they end up doing is, well, we're not really quite sure how, but they don't seem to activate till it's like they smell you almost. It's like if you're like Anna over there, and Anna just sort of like waves a little weakly. She's kind of like how she was with June. She's kind of like become a bit of a wilting flower during this.
Okay.
Because she clearly knows Jeffers and has like a rapport with him, but she's maybe not the most socially confident person in the world. You're picking up.
Well, she was a crash test dummy, so
Probably didn't help. No. Okay, so like if you're like Anna, well, you have to get pretty close, like about well, not nose up to it, but about arm's length, and that's when the proximity sensor sets in, and then they'll try and spot you then. But other than that, I don't know. It's almost like they smell you on the wind almost.
So hypothetically, what was his name again? Jeffers?
Jeffers, yeah.
So hypothetically, Jeffers, say one was covered in nanite paste. Would that aid?
I mean,
in the detection, or
if you're able to,
would it aid in the disguise? Just hypothetically,
He has a moment where he is clearly not considered this possibility because it is both disgusting and probably very bad for one's health.
Uh-huh.
And then he looks at you, who is already just completely soaked in it.
Yes.
He's like, well, I don't know if it would work perfectly, but it might help some.
Well, I'll let you know.
Put through the rigors of scientific testing.
Yeah.
I mean, we have several good groups here. We have him completely covered. Greg still has probably a little bit here and there on him from the one he popped, and Ollie is just completely clean. Besides, the ankle from wading through it. So we have.
I mean, I don't think I would ever describe Ollie as completely clean.
In regards to nanite paste,
she's a greasy gas.
There you go.
And there's a trick to it too. I mean, once you here, let me show you. And he takes this is what we've been using, and he takes a small. It looks kind of like a little like almost like a tape recorder, except it clearly doesn't have like a tape or anything. Just a button on the top, and he's like, "Well, I got one of these from inside the last spotter we popped. Here, let me show you." So he tosses this thing he has in his hand over to Joe.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, it's just covered in goo now, and you see like the large body of like a hacked open, kind of like it was skewered through, and whatever skewered it was removed, like spotter pod removed from the wall, and he starts pulling at it. And even though it's kind of like made of synthetic materials, it's kind of soft almost. You see as he pulls it open, and it's full of goo, and he just reaches around, and he's like, all right. So he pulls it open a little bit to show you, So right around here, you can get one of those. You just reach right in, and he reaches in, pulls it right out, and it's the same exact thing that he handed to Joe, or tossed to Joe, but it's completely soaking now. I guess kind of like the one he just gave Joe. And he's like, and what this is the alert that tells the other spotters to deactivate after the presence isn't sensed anymore. It only works about one time, especially when you pluck it right out of it. But yeah, you use this thing, and even if they spot you, you get one good use of it, and they won't bring anything up to get you.
That's pretty handy.
Oh yeah.
Is that per person, or is that just like a general, just like everything's cool signal?
It's an everything's cool signal. Affects every spotter for about 50 paces.
Now, are those metric or imperial paces?
He stops himself for a sec. He's like, I mean, like fabricator paces, like the big liars upstairs, like Joseph and her bunch. But yeah, you get one of these, and it's one-time use, but it'll help you out.
Are there any of these SecureSoft things around that I could potentially practice on?
You see, like where he pulled it out of, it looks like there are a couple, like two more that it's stacked on top of in like a little makeshift pyramid. So yes.
Could I get one of those out?
Sure. He's like, here, yeah. Take a look. Give me a mechanics check.
Yes.
With your bare hands. Or not your bare hands. I guess you have tools. You're not, gonna do it like Jeffers.
I do have tools, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Does that affect the check at all?
Honestly, it just keeps you from taking black dice from it, like Jeffers did, essentially.
Cool. Is that just rolling 2? Against 2 difficulty, I mean?
That would be against 2, yes. Or 3, sorry.
Cool.
And as you do it, Jeffers is like, now be careful. If you're even just a little bit too strong, you can damage the component pretty easily.
That's 2 successes and 1 threat.
Okay. What should that threat be? Because you definitely pull that thing right out.
Can I give a suggestion?
Sure.
I forget what wound it was that I took earlier. But let's just say I have like a hangnail or something, and some of the goo from this gets like into it, and it's probably not good.
Yeah, it starts to like sting and burn a little bit. It feels kind of caustic on your skin, like especially inside. And you get, I'll give you a strain for that. It's like uncomfortable, but not like a wound at this point.
Cool.
Joe's just fine though. He's just bathing.
I wonder if Joe's just so covered in filth that it hasn't penetrated the layer of like dirt.
Oh, absolutely. I guess Joe's kind of like just a completely greased man.
Yeah.
The Jobo shield strikes again.
Yeah, like even if he
Jobo
has
shield.
any open cuts, which he probably doesn't because he's just so caked in stuff that it calluses too. It's just like completely ablative, but
Back off,
yeah.
Joe. Ollie was supposed to be grease. You're supposed to be grime.
Oh, okay.
Well, grime is just grease times 10. Let's be real.
Yeah, you clean grease sometimes. Grime just lives there.
Grime calls Joe its home.
Have you ever cleaned old machinery that has has some kind of like oil leaking or something, and it gets dirt stuck to the oil, and it just becomes this like gooey slop dirt?
Yeah.
That's the kind of the grime that I imagine Joe has.
Oh no.
And Ollie's more the the grease, the clean grease, not
So,
the.
question: has the nanite paste enhanced? Not paste. The nanite goo enhanced your pocket dirt?
I don't know. We'll find out later. I wonder if the pockets
I
are.
think it's more the pocket dirt just fucks with the nanite paste.
Is that the wait? So you put it in your pocket dirt pocket?
I know. I mean, it's all over my
yeah,
jacket,
okay.
so I don't know if it's in my pockets yet. I haven't opened them. I'll find out
We'll
later.
see. I mean, I will say this, Steve. If you open up the possibility of Joe's pockets being like easily contaminated,
Yeah.
that is just a whole tub of goo you don't want to get into.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I've seen him around a pile of goo that he has not immediately tried to interface with.
He's a gooey man.
I will understand this goo.
If it's even slightly viscous, he's about it.
That's disturbing, but all right.
Look,
I
see,
can't
to be
argue
fair,
with
you
that.
can't argue with
The
it.
evidence is
A
all in your
viscous thing
favor.
either
then.
goes in or on you
Yes.
100% of the time so far.
All right, I'm putting down chill out signal in my inventory?
Yep. And having learned this, I will let you get a blue die for like the next time you go to do it.
Cool.
Because you learned it with instruction. Joe, you get 1 too. And so Jeffers is just talking to you while you look it over. And he's like, yeah, so I mean, it's silly that it works, but honestly, as smart as those SecureSoft can get, they can be pretty brainy sometimes. But yeah, no, the spotters, even the central unit they've got, oof, dumb as rocks.
Good to know. Thank you, Jeffers.
Oh well, no problem. So you're heading on ahead.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a bit of a ways, but well, maybe you'll see one of our party down there. We took 2 church knights with us, and they took off ahead trying to clear the way. They have well, I don't know how it works. I'm just working in the pit, but the armor they got, well, it works kind of how your terrible slide pan works, Joe. Their armor makes it so that for some reason the SecureSoft doesn't get to that first bit of noticing them. They can get right up to it and just stick them right through.
Sounds like a fun job.
If you like risking life and limb against ferals and SecureSoft agents, I mean,
What else is there to do around here?
live and eat a good meal. You see in his hand that he's been holding the sawed-off shotgun in is like, you could smoke a bit, I guess. You see the little cigarette is like, honestly, a lot of other things.
Huh. Joe just kind of looks up for a minute and just like,
He looks to the other two. Is he all right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is about his baseline. I don't know if all right is what the word I would use, but this is not abnormal.
I don't know how if to laugh or feel betrayed at like how Ollie responds to that. Just like from Greg makes sense. From Ollie, it's just like the slow erosion of confidence in Joe's sanity.
I mean, like, you saw him crawl up here, right?
Yeah, I did. I did see your crawl. It was a great crawl, Joe.
Very floppy. 10 out of 10.
All right, well, here. He turns to the other two with the guns and their bandanas still on. They've kind of just been like accepted your presence at this point and have just gone back to guarding. And he's like, turns to one of them. You watch here, okay? I'm gonna take Anna and these folks further down the tunnel a little bit.
You sure it's all right for you guys to split up?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, we're already kind of split up with the knights up ahead, so there shouldn't be anything between us at this point.
Should and isn't aren't the exact same word.
Well, that is how it works out in the tunnels around here. But yeah, so you got a ways ahead of you though, so I may as well do you the kindness, and it's been nice to see you, Anna. I know you don't talk as much, but and Anna just sort of like meekly, like mumbles a little bit, and she's like, "Well, yeah, it's good to see you too, Jeffers. Sorry about the inconvenience. I know I sort of didn't know you're down here and ended up stopping in on you like this. Still, I don't want to interrupt your work, but the company's appreciated." And he seems kind of like he's a little happy about that. Jeffers is just a friendly boy. He's just a nice guy.
Nice, trusting guy that doesn't make us do checks for our obvious deceptions.
yes.
Best kind of NPC.
Well, we really threw him a curveball there. I don't know how you recover from that one, honestly.
Yeah. Again,
Which
and you're not even like getting up to shake his hand, just sticking it up from the goo.
Honestly, that's all I wanted. Like the whole goal was to get around them, and we did. We
you know what?
we broke the ice. We broke the ice expertly, and we
Always
made it.
trust in Joe. He has a plan, even if he doesn't even see it.
Like he's mostly incompetent, but actually secretly kind of knows what he's doing.
Isn't aware.
I feel like that's pretty canon. Like the fact that he's survived this long is of no fault of his own.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Anyway.
So Jeffers is gonna guide us down the hallway.
Yeah.
Oh, that tunnel. I call it a hallway for some reason.
He's talking with you. It's quite a ways out. So you're heading up one of the main support shafts for the Holy Motor Corporation. Holds the whole thing in place.
Oh,
Yeah, right up to the megastructure.
okay. So how many other shafts are there?
Well, I wouldn't know all of them. I don't travel the world like you folks seem to, but I would say about 70, 80 that I know of.
Oh, geez. And they aren't all this bad, hopefully, are they?
Oh gosh, no. They're like 30, 40 miles apart each. So it's hopefully this is just localized infestation. That'd be really bad if it was more than that. But
So a little bit of flame throwing and you guys can handle this?
well, luckily we already got the equipment for the ferals, but well, if I'm gonna be honest with you, outside of knowing how to pop a spotter or two, I'm really not quite as prepared for this as I'd like.
Fake it till you make it, Jeffers. I got faith in you.
Joe, you are a kind soul.
And with that, Joe has accepted another member into his tiny little family.
Oh my god, damn! Fuck, I didn't know if that was gonna happen again. All right, so I assume you guys are walking along with Jeffers, and as you do, you get like kind of a ways away, and he's like, so it's about you're gonna head down past here. It'll be not all the way out to the Holy Motor Roadway or all that, but you're gonna head down that way, and then let's see, yeah, about a couple lefts, couple rights. I'm not the best with directions. That's why we got James back there knows what he's talking about. What? You don't have to be worried. It's just a straight shot. I mean,
Good. There's no fans, are there?
I'm pretty sure there aren't.
Oh, good.
No pistons?
No.
Where have you three been?
I feel like we could handle a piston at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there are pistons around. It's the Holy Motor Corporation after all. I know you're new here, but and as the brothers say, there's a piston in each of our hearts, driving us where we need to go.
Yes.
Did you just laugh so hard you coughed?
Or was it the other way around?
It's really dry in here.
But as you sort of walk your way forward, he's like, but yeah. So I mean, I can't walk you the whole way. I am responsible for all this, but I can get you about as far as we've got Clyde and Cristoph up ahead. I gotta check in on them anyway.
Yeah, we don't want to surprise him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. This is not the line of work you want to.
Oh, definitely not. And
No.
well, especially look, I have very much respect for a knight of the church, but they can be a little intense. But I mean, you would be too if you've been fighting ferals all your life.
Look over at Anna.
She actually kind of looks away a little bit. And Ollie, you kind of get the implication as the one that kind of had that moment with her that maybe that's not something that she really talks about with everyone. The fact that she's been around about as long as the Motor Corporation has as well. And so he's like, yeah, no, they've honestly, I feel bad for this last crop of knights because when I was growing up, and you see him, he's like about like early 30s maybe. He's like, when I was growing up, you wouldn't have seen burning for like maybe every 4 or 5 years or so. It's only been in like the last 2 years that it's come down to every 2 months or so. Seems like it's getting faster, honestly.
Pretty
Well,
good.
I'm sure there's nothing to worry about that.
Oh no, I mean these things. I'm sure it just comes in fits and spurts, you know.
I mean, I did say the out of character voice, but yeah.
It was a very different, the voice of a strange British character just off in the distance.
As he starts talking about it, he looks ahead and he's like, "This is well," and he pulls out his own pamphlet. Again, it's identical to yours, except it has like different markings on it. His include like the cave-in and like you can see a route charted through like some of the parts of the parish and other places.
How sophisticated is his map?
Are there any doodles?
There are absolutely some doodles, and they're fucking on point. Like he's got himself like a little makeshift like compass points in the corner and like little like doodle notes with like full little drawings to like some of them are indicating things like if there's a lot of feral activity or where the SecureSoft infestation is. And
Can I try to memorize this?
I was gonna say, can I break out my annotated map with my crayon
absolutely
and take some notes?
I like to imagine like these compass points that he's made like maybe initially start off for function, but then he just kept doing them to try and get better at them, make them more ornate.
Oh, for sure. It was like obviously a simple design that then got filled in more and more. I think the best part of it is you actually see, because when he takes out his map, he's got his pen right tucked on it. And it is a pen. It is a proper fancy-ass ballpoint pen to sign for the ownership of a car.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just so you know, Tori, she was holding her fingers like a foot apart.
It's a decently sized pen. And it has the Holy Motor Corporation in like a fancy script on it. It's like everything. Like this was probably like if you remember from back in the gift shop, you saw like a display advertising for this, but you didn't see any actual versions of it. But it is a pen for signing the lease on a car, and not only that, to buy a car for the Holy Motor Corporation, according to what you read, you actually do have to buy the pen to sign the lease first. You have to buy each step of the process. You buy the keys, you buy the lease, you buy the pen, and then you buy the car.
So what's the most expensive? Is it the pen or is it the car?
It's still the car, but of the additional things, it is the pen. It is a nice pen. It is commemorative. It's commemorating you having to buy a pen to buy your car.
It holds just enough ink for you to sign your name.
Oh, exactly. So you can tell, not only is it ornate, but it's just like the lightest touch because he's trying to like use as little ink as possible.
Fucking
And I'm going to copy it with crayon.
Yep. He looks over. Oh, I haven't seen those before.
Which?
All three of them.
Oh, the crayons.
Huh.
Oh, yeah. We had these all over where I came from.
Where is that?
It's up there, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
somewhere.
Okay. He goes back to looking at his map.
It's been a while.
So he's looking at his map, and he's like, Clyde and Cristoph should be around here. I can't see him anywhere. I told them not to go further.
Greg pulls out his gun. He does not trust this one fucking bit.
I mean, they should be here, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's you can only go further ahead or where we already were. I mean, I don't think any of them went topside, and you can kind of like see, like as you walked by, they were like similar to the like chamber door that you turned and opened up. You see there's like a couple of those and like ladders and built into the side of the wall. Like,
Can I roll a perception to see if I...
Absolutely. Well, what are you looking for first?
I am looking for any kind of trace of, activity that would have been here, perhaps.
Okay.
Some kind of, if there's stuff on the walls, some kind of scuffle or anything.
Give me a 3 on that.
Okay.
And can Greg roll a survival check to sort of like listen for like anything like beyond visual range?
That would be perception.
All right.
And
But
can Ollie roll charm to just stand there looking cute?
absolutely. And you get 2 blue dice on that because you're adorable. Steve, actually roll your survival on that instead of perception because you're looking for like passive environmental sort of things that you can put together into an image while you're actually like trying to perceive a thing.
I succeed with 2 disadvantage.
Or threat or whatever the heck we're calling it.
Okay.
My dice hate me. Look at this. What is this?
Well, that is pain, is what that is.
3 or 4 or nothing.
Well, you get 1 disadvantage.
I assume this was a difficulty of 0, so Ollie got 2 successes and 3 advantage.
So you are 2 successes and 3 advantage, cute.
Nice.
Okay, so you all honestly, all you see is goo. Just goo. One of the things that does kind of concern you is the spotters, where before they were clearly detached from the wall and the stalks were just there. They're still on the wall, but they're like, you can tell they're sliced through. and the little stalks around them are like a lot longer.
So somebody has sliced them, basically.
Yeah, like some of them are sliced, some of them like stabbed through, but that's all you can make out. You can't get any like real signs of anything. Joe, what'd you get? I mean, Greg, what'd you get?
2 success, 2 advantage.
Nice.
I didn't have any blues for mine, right?
No.
Okay, just want to make sure. Yeah.
What do you want for that advantage?
No, 2 disadvantage.
2 disadvantage.
Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
I misspoke. Yeah, I succeeded, but 2 disadvantage.
So you do hear something, and it's really faint, and it sounds like crying almost.
Can I tell direction on that?
Yes, it is ahead of the tunnel from you. Oh, a good ways.
All right, I relay this back to Jeffers. Does he have any reaction to it?
Oh, I hope everything's all right. Well, we should go check for sure. You mind? I know we're going the same way, but you don't have to if you don't.
I mean, let's put it this way: we'd either be doing this with or without you. So,
Okay. Anna gives a nod, but like I said, it sounds like crying, like it sounds like genuinely upset.
like, how old does it sound? Like, is it like a kid? Or
It sounds like how old is it, Greg, again?
early to mid 30s.
Okay, so you're around Jeffers' age.
Mm-hmm.
And how old is Joe?
Does
I don't
Joe
really
even know? Does Joe even have a
All right,
concept
you know
of
what?
time?
That's super fair. That was a stupid question to ask. I'm a fucking idiot. How old's Ollie again?
About 20.
Okay, so it sounds like not young, not like a child, but it sounds like a young adult almost.
Like 16 to 18ish.
Yeah, like around that range.
All right, guess we keep going towards it. Greg taking point.
Okay.
Meat shield.
What are the rest of y'all doing?
Here's a question for you that's
Sure.
out of character. I feel like we've kind of discussed this, Joe is kind of always in this half state between holding his gun and not holding his gun. Do you want me to specify when he like readies it just for like the sake of actual rules-based
Yes.
action? Okay. All right. I'll probably end up eventually getting the quick draw skill just so that I don't have to worry about that.
Okay, sounds fair.
I will specify Ollie has not drawn her gun.
Okay.
She is specifically walking in not holding it.
Thank you for your honesty.
I mean, she hears crying. Her instinct isn't, oh, I might need to shoot something.
Greg has been in the tunnels a long time.
Greg's been in the tunnels a long time. When he hears her crying, he recognizes something hurt something else and not something is hurt.
So as you get closer, you see what isn't necessarily on your version of the map, but what is definitely on Jeffers' version of the map, where the clear bounds of like the roadway, it's just like a straight tunnel. The sides of the room are larger. It opens up into like a small artificial concrete cavern almost. It's like the combination of something exploded here a long time ago, and it has clearly been like that for a long time, and has sort of whatever elements there are in this place have sort of taken it over and ground it down a little bit, and you see like in the middle of it's only a little bit lower, but in the middle of this like little basin in the middle of it, in the pool of SecureSoft nanites, you just see this figure in armor from the back, just on his knees, just weeping, and you can't really make out what's like in front of him, because he has his back to you. It looks like you can see a little bit of like another similar form there,
Oh no.
just sort of like laying. And around them, you see dozens of SecureSoft security agent bodies, and like 5 or 6 dead ferals. Some of them are burnt. Some of them are just skewered, like all around them.
So does Jeffers recognize these two as
Yeah, you can hear him. He doesn't even really say anything too loud. He's just like, Clyde? Cristoph? And the person just cries even harder.
We should probably see if there's anything we could do at this point, or
Yeah, I think
if he's, we'll see if we can help, basically.
let's see if we can help. Greg's gonna let everyone else handle it. He's gonna keep an eye out on the perimeter, make sure nothing sneaks up on us.
Sure, no problem. And you walk into the room. Ollie, do you go in as well?
Yes.
Okay. Anna stays with Greg, kind of like. She both looks kind of like she socially does not know what to do, and is a little scared. Again, you're getting all of this from body language because she has no facial expressions, and she's also sort of gonna guard with you, while Jeffers sort of just rushes right in, and as you do, you start to hear a series of clicks and whirs, and then the beginnings of that alarm sound of the SecureSoft spotters as you see around the room about 3 spotters in different spots
I knew it.
spot you.
Hey y'all, it's Tori, your composer, editor, and Ollie. Erin couldn't make the mid-roll this week, so I'm filling in for her. Just wanted to stop by and say thanks again so much for listening to our show. Special thanks go out this week to Burbus McBurbface, who left us our very first review on iTunes. Very sweet of you to do that, Burbus. iTunes reviews are especially helpful in gaining favor with the inscrutable algorithm and getting this show recommended to others, so we really do sincerely appreciate it. If you're liking what you hear so far, also consider subscribing to us on the podcast platform of your choice, following us on Twitter @SalvageCast, and recommending us to a friend you think might also dig what we do. That just about wraps it up for me this week, but continue watching this space. We should have something pretty exciting to announce here soon. Until then, let's get back to the episode. Peace, y'all.
And as soon as he hears the noise, you see Jeffers reach into his pocket and click the deactivation
The
unit.
tape recorder that deactivates the security.
Yeah. And then they don't shut down. You can see the lights that they were starting to generate just fizzle, and they still were. And it's almost comical because they're very, very dumb. And you can see they're like as much as a weird Sentry pod can. They're trying really hard to get it to work, and it's just not. And the spotters in this room are rather high up.
Greg just turns to Anna. Do you think you can nail a couple of those? I'd rather not find out how long that chill out signal lasts.
She's well, all right. Give me a sec. And she it's like a what's it called?
Gun.
It's like a lever action.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lever action rifle. Just this big lever action, and she finally pulls that off her back and clicks it and fires off at 2 of them and pops them right like that. Are any of you gonna try and do anything about the third one?
Nope.
Greg's shotgun's too short range.
Fair.
Ollie, can you get that last one? I'm a little bit he sort of holds his shotgun up awkwardly.
Oh, sure. And pull out a little slugger and try and pop it.
Could you roll me a ranged for that? From where you are, about 2 difficulty. Anna nailed the ones that are further away.
1 success, 1 advantage.
Do you want to feel really good about yourself?
I mean, yeah.
The answer is no. You must feel terrible at all times.
Okay.
Who's going to say no to that?
you pop it straight on, and just there's like where Anna's was kind of more just like a pop kind of thing. Yours actually has like a bit louder rapport to it, and you pop it, and you feel good about yourself. You actually lose that one strain you took from before.
Ah, bitchin'.
You feel good about yourself for the shot, but there's also something like in this weird moment that you find yourselves in, it feels kind of inappropriate almost. Like you're doing it because you have to, but
We prefer not to have more than one possible corpse.
absolutely. And Jeffers starts trying to talk to the knight there in front of him, and he's like, Cristoph, oh no. He looks down, and as you guys sort of filter into the room, like the other knight laying in front of him is just completely like slashed to hell. Like, in fact, there's practically one of the nearby feral bodies. It looks like it clearly was like rolled off of him. He has like a really, really finely made spear that he had. Like the tip of it's broken. You could see like the blade kind of like stuck in the feral that's rolled over, and the other bit's just like laying on the floor, discarded. And Cristoph has his sword, like it's on the ground by him, by his side. He's just like, he can't even, like, all he can do is cry. And as Jeffers like starts to try and shake him and rouse him a little bit, like make sure he's okay, like the crying just gets louder and louder, and like it starts to get to this place where it gets like uncomfortably like guttural, and it stops sounding quite as human. Could you all roll me vigilance?
Yay!
This is gonna be good.
Fuck off.
Against a 2.
Hooray! 2 successes and 1 advantage for Greg.
2 successes, 1 advantage. Mm-hmm. All right.
You fail with 1 advantage, Steve.
Could you write these down in order for me, Stephen?
2 failures, 1 advantage.
Okay. I'm gonna. That actually makes a lot of sense between that and like her not having her gun out and how she's approaching the situation.
Well, I think she would actually have her gun out because she just popped the one.
After you did that, did you put it away, or are you still holding it?
I'd say maybe with the advantage, we can say that she didn't.
Absolutely, and that's perfect. So it was like the kind of thing where like it's down, and she was thinking about putting it back but she still got it in her hand when this sort of starts happening.
Yeah.
Dan, you gave me cursed dice.
And that is, oh god,
No, you took cursed dice from me.
and that is 2 and 1 advantage.
2 success.
Yeah.
1 advantage. That's the same as Greg.
Okay.
Should we roll off again, or just...
Yeah, we'll just roll a blue die.
Success.
Advantage.
Alright, so
All
I
right.
think I should probably go first then with the...
Yeah, absolutely. And as this happens, like you start to hear like a skittering sound from the ceiling of this cavern, and you can see where before it hadn't had anything listed on the map, but like there were a series of like a circular series of rectangular vents around the room of this that were. It was clear that there was ductwork that was together, that it went off in a whole bunch of different directions, and as whatever carved away that this little cavern in here, like opened them up to this room instead, and they pouring out of that, you see like a little over half a dozen skittering spider-like SecureSoft agents start like pouring through, crawling along the walls and ceilings very quickly. What's Greg gonna do?
Is Greg the one that we're going to have go first? Because remember, orders are...
It would make sense. However,
Is this
your
initiative,
shotgun
or is this just...
This is initiative as well.
Your shotgun is
It's
range
a
limited.
combo initiative and figuring out if
What's the range band that they're in
I would
now?
assume pretty far if they're like on the ceiling.
Is
I don't think
shotgun
I'm
short
going-
range only?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
short range. So I'm not sure, like, I can't fight these things on this turn, like,
Okay, what
Until they move.
What range are they? Are they medium or are they long range?
I would say medium.
Okay.
And you can take like other actions like getting ready for it, and
how's
you
the
can also maneuver to get closer to them so that it is short.
how's the kid doing?
The kid that's crying.
Yeah.
At this point, when you're about to act, just like at that point where it's just starting to look like shaking and like 10 times more than where it even started as, and it was pretty bad at the beginning.
All right. Did we roll for Jeffers?
We did not. I'm going to handle him and Anna. Here's how I'm going to handle this for them. One of them, not both of them, is going to act at the end of each round.
All right. I think Greg's going to yell at Jeffers to like take care of the kid. Like try to like pull him out so we don't have to stay here for any longer than we have to. And is going to try to like set up defensively right by them. We can ready actions, right?
Absolutely.
So basically he's going to get like right next to the kid, yell at Jeffers to grab him and just like try to keep any of the spiders away from him if they get in range.
All right. I'm going to count that as an aim action.
Okay.
So you tell Jeffers to do that, and then you take your action and your
my movement to get up close to the kid, like as close as I can, and then just take up a defensive position.
Okie doke. So aiming counts across turns, so that'll benefit you next turn.
All right.
And as you do that, let's see, they get to move 2 range bands in a movement phase, given just how fast they are, like they're burning up their stress or whatever, but they're allowed to do that for free. So they skitter 3 of them. Again, they're like maybe the size of somebody's torso, all told. And 3 of them just try and jump down onto you, Greg.
All right, this will be fun.
Once again, Greg versus
Greg versus
enemies.
everything.
And let's see. They do succeed.
Yep.
Good. You wouldn't want them to fail now, would you, Greg?
If you out of character.
Yes.
They do succeed just by 1. And take 4 damage for me.
And then apply soak, right?
Yep.
Which you're wearing clothes now.
So I take nothing.
Yay.
Hey.
Clothes.
So they just start
Pants.
Yeah. So they just start like scratching at you a bit. Not in like too serious of a
But
way.
your lubed up, skin tight
No, that
armor is just too much for them to.
And as that happens,
Is it that they can't get through it, or they don't want to get through it?
they hear the squeaking coming and they're just like sort of off for just like
a little bit. With the lack of creases, they're just unable to find purchase.
I love it.
So, and then the other set, a couple of them start hopping down towards you, Ollie. And let's see. They do succeed as well. That is, again, 4 damage for you as well.
All right, so that's 1 wound.
And they also have a disadvantage if you'd like to spend that.
How would I spend that?
You can actually make it to give them strain, which in this instance they would just take as damage because they're a minion group.
yeah, no, pulling back the curtain.
Sorry,
Seeing
I'm
all the
sorry.
mechanics.
How many are in her group? There were 3 and
3, yeah.
3 and 3. Okay, so there were 6. So that's all of them. So they
Yes.
split into 2 groups. Got it.
Yeah, I kick one in the robot version of a face,
Okay.
and it is stressful.
Okay. So you bat one of them away. You actually like damage some of the components a little bit. It's like surface level, but it's having trouble getting at you. And you take 4 damage. 4
Gotcha.
wounds. Does that get through your soak?
Yeah, that's 1 wound for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So Greg's just dealing with them like adorably scratching at his ankles. Ollie just has one like jump right at her face.
Yeah, this is like a new fun experience for Greg.
It's like, I thought I was going to get murdered, but man, these are like my favorite enemies now.
And the same for you, Joe.
We'll see if the goop has any benefits.
In fact, I will give them a disadvantage to trying to hit you because of the goop. Because you are just covered in goop, and I guess it's just helping it slide right off.
Now the question is it because it's helping like it slide off, or
can
just
they
because
not?
they're like so disgusted like we don't can we go to
they
the other
love
one?
this stuff. They love this stuff.
Or is it difficult for them to like identify
Or
things
actually-
that are covered in goop?
Let me think about this. It's
Are you
like
gonna give them a boost die to hit?
no, I don't think they love it that much. I think it's like, I mean, clearly their environment is surrounded in it, like covered in it, but also like how would you say? but it's also like blood and birthing fluid for them. So they're probably not too keen on being completely. They have a complicated
They're
relationship with
threatened.
it.
You're just covered
It's
in
like
their
the
own
walls
blood.
of their house and also their blood. But
I'm hoping it has some disguising properties.
I'm just gonna say it's just gonna make it difficult to hit you.
Yeah, all right, fine.
If you come across like a bear that's it doesn't matter if it's covered in blood or plaster, it's still gonna be an interesting experience.
Absolutely. All right, so let's see how that do.
The black die helped me so much.
It didn't do shit. But interestingly enough, you lucky motherfucker, they don't land hits on you.
Praise the goop. Praise the goop. Strobo shield.
So they just like fall around you and start trying to like get at you.
How many do I have to deal with?
It's 3 for you as well.
Okay.
And one of the ones that dropped towards you, Greg, there was a 4th one, and it starts trying to like ineffectually like get at Cristoph. And this is maybe like the first thing that you've seen cause him to have like a reaction at all. And he just stops. Not even like pays attention, but just stops. Like he's like mid shaking, crying, and freezes like a statue. Like almost unnaturally so. And who goes next?
It's Joe.
Well, it's
Joe's slot. We can do whatever, but
Yeah. Who
Joe,
wants to go
Ollie,
next?
and then one
I
of
think
the two.
Ollie's the one that actually would be like more
Yeah,
pressed to
probably.
actually act. Joe's just standing there very happy that his goop plan clearly is working.
Yes.
So is that canon? Is he actually saying praise the goop as this chaos unfolds around him?
Maybe under his breath. He doesn't want to break the magical powers of disguise that the goop have gifted him.
All right. And Ollie, what you doing?
Okay, so I've got 3 of these to deal with.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to spend my maneuver to disengage.
Okay. Yeah. So you, I guess you kind of like just brush him off and
Yeah.
yeah.
Seeing all these things like scamper around kind of wild like, Ollie's going to hold down the trigger and just like do a bit of spray and pray, and I'm going to activate my auto fire.
Oh, okay. Do it. Yeah. That's lucky because it's short difficulty since you disengaged. And that's only 1 die naturally, so it's 2 purples for that roll with auto fire.
That is going to be well, I don't get to do any auto fire.
Aw.
But that is going to be 2 successes and 1 threat.
Okie doke. I like this. So you fire at them. What's the damage on your gun?
7.
And that's okay. So +2 from the 9. All right. So especially along with the damage that you did from just trying to not smack it away, you just set off a round of shots, and it just sprays right through all 3 of these things as soon as you get a little bit away from them. But because you were so close and you're sort of wading through this goo, like you immediately from the recoil just sort of, because you were hip firing, just sort of fire, and the recoil like pushes you like right on your ass and in the goo. And I'm just going to count you as
Prone?
prone a little bit. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And who next?
Yes, Joe. How big are these things?
These things are how
Is it
would
like
you
torso sized?
I'd say they're like the round like core of them is just a single round ball. That's like the size of someone's head, and then it has like 4 little spider like legs, like claw like spider like legs that extend about maybe like 2 feet each. And Joe,
So I'm engaged with them?
you are engaged with them.
So you spend a movement to disengage?
Mm-hmm.
Can I get in a position where they're lined up conveniently, or is that not possible? Can I line up 2 of them to see if I can shoot through them?
I would say that would be taking like another maneuver to aim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I get a
You'd have to
aim
take 2
bonus?
strain.
Okay.
Yes, and that would be a blue die bonus.
Okay. And it's short distance, right?
Yes.
Okay. God, if I fail this. Yay. So I have 2 success and 3 advantage.
What do you want to do with that? Those.
Can I recover my strain? My 2 strain? Or is it limit 1? How does it work?
Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Okay.
All right. So, what do you want to do with the extra
The
advantage?
extra.
Yeah.
has Dan has not gone yet, right?
Greg went. Yeah, he just took
Greg
it.
went.
Just you can still pass along across the next turn if you want.
Okay. But I don't know who it would make sense to throw it to.
It's up to you, bud.
All right, well then I'll give it to whoever goes next. It'd be Jeffers or Anna, I guess. They go at the end.
Okay, yeah, sure. 2 successes. What's your damage?
5, Pierce 2.
What's your damage?
What is your damage? 5 pierce 2. Honestly, given the way they pop, the pierce isn't going to like do so much. And you manage to pop. You fire. You squeeze off a shot, and you manage to, because you lined it up, pop 2 of them, and the third one just keeps on coming at you.
All right. I'm pleased enough with that.
And while this happens, Anna's going to take a shot. She's going to be trying really hard not to hit any of you. And unlike Greg, she didn't wade into the room, so she's still she's at long distance where Greg was medium before. She's a very good shot, but if she screws up, she might actually hit one of you, and she fires off at the last one towards Joe. And well, F it, she gets a triumph. So she pops off, like you fire those 2, and you're about to turn as this other one's going to just lunge at you, Joe, and then you just see it from a distance popped off by Anna, and she just tips her hat at you. Woo!
Does she have a hat?
She tips her head at you.
She has a hat, yes. She's been the whole time where Ollie was holding her head up for her. She was just like quietly like holding on to her hat, like close to her chest. Didn't want it to get lost.
What kind of hat does she have?
It's like a wide brimmed like
Hat.
Not what I'd expect in this environment.
Well,
Anna goes for style points.
she's wearing a big old dress.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
She doesn't exactly blend in with the environment as it is. So. All right, so that starts the whole order again.
Okay. Well, while that happens, Jeffers is just like trying to get Cristoph to like snap out of it just for a little bit, and at this point, as he tries to shake him, like he can't even really move him.
I'm sure nothing's going on with him.
No.
And so it is, I guess it's Greg's turn, right?
Well, it's any one of us.
Any one of us. Who would like to go next?
I do think it makes most sense to do Greg.
Yep. Considering you have all the Spidey boys.
I mean, they're not doing much.
Yeah.
I say as next turn, they just get all the criticals in the world.
Yes.
Oh God. Yeah. So what are you gonna do?
We have dealt with our
You
spooters.
said there was one going towards Cristoph, right?
There is, yes. I would say it is engaged with him, but it used up its action and everything to get engaged with him, even though it hasn't been able to take an attack yet.
I want to shoot it, but I have a shotgun.
That would be a little bad, yeah.
I don't feel like that would be perhaps.
It is also like directly between you and him.
Yeah, that might perhaps not be the best idea.
Do you have one of them pokey sticks?
No, I have my fists.
We gotta get you one of
But
them pokey
I mean,
sticks.
when Greg can't shoot things, he has sort of defaulted to, I guess I'm punching everything now.
There is
so.
a sword on the ground. I don't know how he'd feel about you taking his
It's
sword.
out of your reach. It is like right on the ground next to Cristoph.
I don't know if Greg knows how to use a sword is the thing. Greg just understands how punch do.
Side note, it is like a large great sword type sword. Like it's big.
Dude's wearing like medieval looking armor though.
Actually, let's talk about what his armor looks like, because I didn't want to like break the moment, but it is definitely a combo between like medieval knight's armor, but also kind of the helmet aesthetics are that of like a motorcycle helmet, but like as if it was a medieval helmet. It has like some of those curves still, but it like the visor is definitely like flips up like a motorcycle helmet, and you can like see that like that's definitely the lineage of it.
Okay.
All melee checks are 2 dice, right?
Yes.
Well, I guess I'm punching robots again.
Oh, okay.
Again, the kid does not seem out of it, and Jeffers is so like focused on trying to get him up that Greg's like, I'm all right now, so I'll take out the biggest threat.
Wait, did Anna use that blue die that I threw to the next person?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why she shot so good.
Okay, good.
Alright. One success and one advantage.
Okie doke. So what's your damage on that?
That's just
Fist.
Yeah, that's just your brawn. So that'd be 4 damage, so 5 damage total.
5 damage total. Okay.
It's the same as the laser.
I'm going to tell you straight up. You run and kind of like dive forward a little bit and give like a sweeping side punch kinda, and you could just feel it shatter as your fist hits it, and you punch. You have some follow through on that, and you punch right through this thing as it pops, just completely, just like a fucking Christmas ornament, just popping into like a cloud of the nanite goo.
Can my advantage be that it like helps start snapping the kid out of it? 'Cause this is like a very sudden.
Absolutely, you do start noticing some movement on the kid's end.
Yeah, like maybe not like, oh, his mental state's better now, but at least like gets him like, oh, okay, enemy was just there. I might be about to die too. What the fuck? Just where did Giant Man just come from?
You know what? Absolutely. It will be interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure this is going to go poorly, but Greg's still operating under the assumption that the kid is not an enemy. So
what ends up happening is, so the kid gets up and, like, again, he's like statue stock still up to this point. And then suddenly just like, something just like snaps in him. And you see him just like haggardly like start to pull himself up and just push Jeffers like away behind him. And he picks up, as he gets up, he picks up the greatsword near him. Like, it's still dragging. It's like only in one hand even. And this is part of what I'll also give you for your advantage. Because you did that sort of lunging forward dive. You punch the thing, get his attention sort of. He wakes up out of it. And he just takes a swing, almost as if you're not even there. So part of your luck is also you sort of slide right under this fucking vicious sword swing. And I'm gonna roll for that as he attacks the 3 behind you. That is 3 successes, a triumph, and 1 advantage.
And is that bad for Greg?
No, Greg's missed.
Oh,
Greg's free and clear.
This
That's
went
what
right
that
over
advantage.
Greg's head.
Good.
As he gets up, he takes a swing, and it's almost like, it's gross as hell. Like, you see his armor, it's like put together. There's like a bit of like black leather sort of underneath it, like the in between underbits, and then just like you just hear a horrible tear as like it goes from the sword sort of dragging next to him to swinging it all the way across, slicing through all 3 of these things as his arm just sort of like snaps and just extends outwards. You hear like a crunch, and what you see is in that same sort of black metal, black iron kind of texture, where his arm was like, and his elbow was, like pistons that should not be there have extended out and torn some of his arm to like an unnatural length and size as he slices through these, and sort of like the follow through of it drops him on his other arm and on his knees.
Oh, so there's a piston more than just our heart.
Some folks have more pistons, you know?
We're not living in the parish. It is a maybe sometimes visit place, but not.
And Jeffers is just Cristoph, and he just like sort of tries to pick himself up. And like Cristoph starts, like you could see like the legs of his arm are sort of like, as he's sort of like hunched over on his knees and arm, like you could see he like tries to get his bearing up, and his other arm sort of like extends out similarly, and same with like his legs, and even his torso kind of like contorts. And it looks like the mask of his armor is like starting to like crack and flake away almost. And he turns and looks at you, and you can see through like one of the cracked what's like the windshield of the motorcycle helmet type armor, and you see an eye that looks very much like one of the ferals that you saw before. All of the pistons in its arms just sort of like become very short real quick, and then just pushes up from them. And where, like I said, there were those little shafts up above, there's like a main central one in the middle of them. It leaps all the way from the ground where you're on, all the way up towards that, and starts scrabbling into the vents.
Joe is the person who signs his texts as Slime Man.
Is that a reference to somebody?
I don't know that reference.
Yes, goddamn.
I'm old, Tori. We're old. I'm sorry.
What is Slime Man?
It's a man who's slimy.
I'll bring it up.
Yeah, do that, and I'm gonna eat this while you bring that
What
up.
you doing, Dan?
I was gonna say we can always just post it on the Discord after.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're taking a break now.
I don't have to eat the whole thing. I'll just eat some of it.
Well, if Steve's gonna eat something in the bucket, maybe I have something in here. I don't know. Granola bar of indeterminate age.
Y'all are people.
You know, the only food stuff that I keep in my other backpack is toothpaste. In case you're real hungry.
I know we're going to edit this out, but I'm imagining this as actually part of the podcast, and it is a very interesting D&D podcast for sure.
What if
Well,
we...
not staying in.
I have a great idea, guys. We have two podcasts. One that's just D&D, and one is just all the parts we edited out of D&D.
Oh
just
my god,
spliced
no.
together.
That would be so bad.
Slime man.
Slime Man.